When bad things happen to you, you need to look at what could be the potential lesson and then let yourself be guided by the universe. I know it sounds a little bit fancy schmancy, okay, and you don't need to believe me, but things are happening for you. And so oftentimes you'll be like, I'm the victim. But you're not. You're the protagonist. You are the main character. And so act like it. Act accordingly to what you want to be and to who you want to be. For the male audience out there, if you are in a situation which you're broken, heartbroken, and you want to get to $10,000 per month, this is what you probably need to do, okay? Is lower your expenses, increase the knowledge that you have in a particular high income skill, and go all in. What's up, underdogs? Welcome to another episode of The Entrepreneurial Underdog. I'm Alek here, and listen, today I'm fired up, okay? Because we're talking about one of my favorite topics, and it's one of my favorite topics because you've requested it on so many occasions. And that is, Alek, how do I close high-ticket deals and make over $10,000 a month on social media? Well, listen, today's episode, it's not for the weak. And that is because I will cover a lot of the sacrifices that you need to make in order to get to that amount. And some of the things are kind of brutal, okay? But I've done them and it worked for me. And so I can only speak about what are the things that worked for me. And look, a couple of years ago, I was totally broke and I was also heartbroken. And I was with zero social media presence. No one really listened to what I had to say. And now fast forward a couple of years after, okay, I'm feeling fantastic. But I'm also training over 100,000 people online how to get better at sales, how to make more money, how to get better at marketing their product. And so things have changed for me significantly fast. And I don't want to train you on the shortcuts. I just want to share with you exactly what worked for me. So let's get into it. Let's start from that point back in the days. Look, COVID hit and everything went south for me. And I had two decisions to make, okay? And that is, what am I going to do? Decision number one, okay, maybe I'm just going to sit down and cry about it, okay, because I lost my job and I was laid off and look, nothing was working for me. Or decision number two, I was going to do my best. And so at any point in which I am, in the middle of two decisions, I always just choose like, okay, I'm going to do my best. And so then it was a matter of breaking down what was my best. And look, it wasn't just that I lost my job. I also lost my girlfriend at the time, who was absolutely spectacular, I thought. And I thought we were going to marry. And suddenly I was, on the streets, no job, okay? And I was heartbroken. And, suddenly it was very shocking for me to lose absolutely everything, to find myself in a situation in which I have some money saved, I have some skills, but I am really lonely and I'm broke and I'm heartbroken. And it was like, okay, what do I do from here? Where do I go? And for those who listen to the podcast more often, or for those who have been following me on social media for a little longer, you may know that I'm originally from Bulgaria. And I've been living in Spain now for over 16 years. But I have houses, I have family in Bulgaria, and I go there very often. And that is kind of like my safe space and my like growth space. And so at the time I was in Spain and I was like, look, Spain has a higher lifestyle maintenance when it comes to costs. The costs are higher. There's probably more opportunities, but what are the pros and what are the cons? And what did I need at the time? And so as someone who was literally broken, heartbroken, I honestly just wanted some peace and low expenses. And so what I decided to do was literally just take a one-way ticket to Bulgaria. And what happened next was I literally went on a military boot camp on my own. Okay. And for the first 3 months, I was focused on one thing and one thing only. And it's like, what am I good at and how can I get better? And I identified very quickly that what I'm really, really good at is actually people. And it's persuading people. And it's getting people to do things for me. And I used to do sales at university. I used to sell donations. I used to sell products, and I was always in the top ranks. And I was like, hey, maybe that's something that I'm good at. But I didn't have direction, and I didn't have the frameworks, and I didn't have what are the steps, okay, in order to close high ticket deals. What is, the techniques that I can be using? And I definitely had no idea how to grow successfully a business. And so what I decided to do next was join this webinar by this big guy, okay, that I've been watching launch ads at me every single day. And his name was Grant Cardone. And so I joined that webinar, and I thought it was like the most fantastic thing, okay? And during that live webinar, it wasn't actually live, I was like, wow, man, sales, money, it's awesome. That's the thing I want to do. And so I started studying Grant. I joined Cardone University, and fast forward, I was like, hey, what if I start, right, learning all of this, and then I start talking about it and just showing people what I know, coupled with my experience previously. So at the time, I already had a career. I had lots of experience in psychology and in psychophysiology. I didn't start from nothing. And so the unique difference that I saw from my side was when I was selling from a position of what makes people instinctively buy. What is that powerful motion that goes through their head for them to switch from a I don't care about you to, man, I want to buy everything from you. And so I needed to figure that out, right? And once everything clicked into place, I was like, I'm great at two things. And it's understanding people and understanding their mind. And that comes from my background in psychophysiology, because I used to do literally lie detection, okay? And so I started applying lie detection and psychology into sales. And I started just getting on calls and figuring out if I could offer anything to anyone, okay? What was it? And what value would that bring them? And would they be willing to pay me? And I was very scared at the time. I went to this solitary military boot camp, and what I did, okay, was literally for 6 months I had the exact routine, and it was wake up, okay, alone in my apartment, far in the mountains. And if you know something about Bulgaria, it's always cold, it's always lonely, it's always dark, okay? And so I would wake up at 7 a.m. and what I would focus is on two things. I want to get a better body, I want to get better fitness, I want to have a healthy diet, healthy mind, and I want to get better at my skill. And so literally for 6 months, okay, the 3 months that it took me to complete the entire Cardone University and to start into this, and the other 3 months that I was just literally on my own, focused in my zone on that exact thing, it changed absolutely everything for me. And here's the exact routine that I used to basically go from broke and heartbroken to having over 100,000 followers on social media and being requested internationally for sales training. Okay. And this may sound very, very harsh, and it was very lonely, and it was really, really bad. And yes, at the time I felt like I had no life aside from that thing that I was focused on. But that's exactly what some of you may need to do. And that is monk mode. Okay. And it literally consisted in me waking up, okay, fasting for a couple of hours, going for a run fasted, okay, coming back, making my protein and smoothie shake, okay, having some good chicken and rice, okay, because I didn't have a lot of money, okay, and then sitting down and focusing on learning and building an offer, and consequently starting to talk about the way I'm doing things, okay? So that's it. It was healthy meals, cheap meals, okay? No people, okay? I used to go and see my grandparents, okay, for a couple of hours every week, and that was my only other activity aside from eating cheap meals, okay, and healthy chicken and rice, protein smoothie shakes, okay, exercising, which at that time was for me running, okay, and doing push-ups, doing 100, 200 push-ups, whatever I had, whatever I could. I literally downloaded a fitness app and I was like, what do you give me? Oh, that's the training, I'll just do it. And then sitting in front of my PC and learning about sales. And look, it was very tough, it was very hard, but I started noticing that I am getting some attention, and I'm starting to notice that people are liking this process, and people are liking to see me suffer, grind, and learn how to be a better person. And for the male audience out there, if you are in a situation which you're broken, heartbroken, and you want to get to $10,000 per month, this is what you probably need to do. Okay, is lower your expenses, increase the knowledge that you have in a particular high income skill, and go all in. And I say on a couple of occasions the heartbroken part because as male, okay, we only do two things. Okay, we could choose to lay in bed and do nothing about our situation. We could choose to focus that anger and sadness on what matters. And at the time, what mattered to me was I need to become more valuable in this society so that people can pay me money because I'm broke. And aside from that, I'm heartbroken, and so it hurts. And so in order for me to channel my sad and angry energy, I used to do exactly that, okay? Sit and learn, okay, for long hours, and go running and do push-ups. That's it, okay? And so it was very, very hard because none of the activities that I was doing, but because it was freaking lonely. I wasn't seeing no girls, I wasn't seeing no friends, and I was on my own. And when winter hit, and it was October, and October is my birthday, a little before that, I had a friend who is a designer, and he was the guy with whom we started posting on social media together. We decided, okay, this will be a joint venture. And I invited him and I was like, hey, would you like to join me on this military adventure, this boot camp that I'm doing on my own? Because I feel like I'm limited and I don't really know how to present myself better when it comes to social media. Because design at the beginning, especially when you do not have the repercussion that I have now, it helped because it grabbed attention. And so I invited him to come and join me. And he did. But he only lasted for about a month with the same regime. And I was back to being alone in the game. And so this is when I looked at my personal brand and I said, I need to change things. I need to focus on my knowledge a lot more, less on the design, less on the beauty, and go back to that grinding and to that putting in every single effort and focusing on every single follower and every single opportunity for me to make money. And so here's how I got my first client. I got him for $15 a month. 15. Yeah, you heard it right. I told, hey, like it's $15, man. Like, and what was I going to do? I was going to craft him for copywriting emails that sell. Fantastic, right? But then here's what I learned. I was like, at some point I realized that I can upsell people. And so I upsold that same client to $250. And that was for my personal time. It was coaching. Okay. And it was $250 at the time for a month. It was fantastic because that thing doubles up in Bulgaria. All right. That's how broke I was. Okay. And they accepted. And I was like, wow. And then I was like, well, what if I try the same thing, but I charge 500? And someone else accepted. And suddenly I was doing 750 per month. I was like, wow, that's like, yo, that's a lot of money here. All right. It wasn't. Okay. But I realized the most important thing. And it's like, now I have a process of acquiring customers. And so if I have a process of acquiring customers, then I can replicate the process. And so that's exactly what I did. I was like, how did I get my $250 client? How did I get my $500 client? And how can I repeat the process? And here's what worked for me. Okay. And here's exactly how I got to $10,000 per month. Okay. What I did was I started replicating each step and just increasing the price. And then I started asking people, hey, how can I be of even more value to you? Suddenly, I wasn't just charging $500 per month, or the $250 that I thought was amazing when I started. I was charging $2,500. And the funny thing is, people always think that if you sell high ticket, you need to do a lot of things different. But I realized you don't. It's actually sometimes even easier because the $250 client, they have million complaints. Okay, they expect you to be there all the time. Okay, well, the $2,000 500, okay, they're like, oh, you just do the work, deliver the results. Okay, train me on this thing, and that's it. And I love it. I don't have to complain and expect more because I know how business runs. And so $10,000 a month is not a lot because I just needed 4 people who pay me that amount. Okay. And when I had those 4 clients, it was a matter of retaining them for the next month. And what if I acquired the next one? That would be 12,500. Okay. And so the simple formula to getting to $10,000 is literally find a customer first who can pay you a little less. Okay. Then repeat the process and acquire customers, but at a higher price. And then see how many times can you repeat the operation and see how much you can increase the price so that you can have more profit. And then you start reducing the active time that you spend on delivering that service. And so for me, I was selling coaching. And so at the beginning, what I started was $500 and I will literally train you 3 times a week. Okay. And I was like, yo, that was 12 times that I was like there with them for an hour. It was a lot of hours and it was very ineffective. And so then I was like, on that $2,500 client, okay, I will be coaching you for just, 2 times a week, okay, for 6 weeks, okay. And I was looking at how can I increase profit? Will I reduce my active time? And I still maintained very low my expenses. And that's what helped me to then understand, okay, well, first of all, I'm delivering value, but what is value to people? Okay. And when it comes to it, what was valuable is helping people to sell without the anxiety. Okay. And that's what worked. And people were specifically interested in the psychology part of it because I understood how the human brain works and how people come to a decision, okay, a logical decision to buy. And what emotions would I need to trigger in order for people to rationalize that they need to purchase from me, right? And so that's what I was sick for. And that's what I doubled down on. And then it was a matter of how do I grow my personal brand so that I stop doing outreach and I get to attract clients. And what I focused on was one simple thing. And it was, I know it sounds very cliche, but it was literally, what are the things that I'm doing? Documenting the process and giving away the important secrets that other coaches didn't dare to do. And so a lot of coaches would say like, here are 5 ways, and here are 5 things that, that are costing you sales. And they will tell you the mistakes, and they're not going to give you a solution. What I used to do, and I to this day implement this exact same framework, is I'll tell you the problem that you have, and then I will give you a partial solution to that problem. And then at the very end, I will tell you, hey, by the way, I can solve this for you. And so if you want to save the time, the headaches, if you want to, have it all done by me, okay, just message me. And if you have proven yourself over time that you are an expert in a specific topic, people will reach out to you and they will ask for your help. And so the one thing that I did was literally start speaking about sales and psychology and never stop. That's it. And so a year after, people realized, oh my God, this guy is actually good, because he hasn't stopped for a year. And every day he's delivering something that is different, that is great, that it's of my use, that is valuable to me and my business. And so oftentimes I would get new clients and they would be like, wow, I've been like following you for 2 years. I would like, yeah, that's awesome. That's probably why he decided to buy, right? And so you need to understand that nothing comes easy. But if you follow the strategies that I have broken down for you, look, in 2 years' time, hit me up and say, this didn't work, okay? And I will personally pay you $10,000 off my pocket, right? You just have to. At the beginning, I know people say, oh, be smart. No, you cannot just be smart at the beginning, because first of all, you don't know what you don't know. And so you need to just grind at the beginning, and like you really need to work 12, 16 hours. You need to sleep, you need to exercise, you need to work, you need to sleep, you need to exercise, you need to work. And so years after, look, now I don't mind working 10 hours per week, okay, because I have systems in place. But at the beginning, I used to work those 16 hours, and that cold journey to Bulgaria, it changed absolutely everything for me. And that girl who broke my heart changed absolutely everything for me, right? And so when bad things happen to you, you need to look at what could be the potential lesson and then let yourself be guided by the universe. I know it sounds a little bit fancy schmancy, okay? And you don't need to believe me, but things are happening for you. And so oftentimes you'll be like, oh, I'm the victim. But you're not. You're the protagonist. You are the main character. And so act like it. Act accordingly to what you want to be and to who you want to be. I had so much pain being broke that I had to change that, and I had to transform myself, okay, into a better human being who is capable of adding more value to other people so that more people can pay me, so that I can get, okay, in a position in which I can choose my clients, I can choose my girlfriends, I can choose the lifestyle that I want. And so I made a conscious choice, okay, to take that trip, to go monk mode for 6 months, and to then start an adventure that I have to this day never stopped. And if you encounter me in 10 years, I would still be posting, and I will have millions of followers, and I will be in a much better position. I'll be in much better shape, and I will be happier than now. And in 10 years' time, come back and tell me, oh, you promised that, and check where I am. And you will see that this information will come to be true. How do I know? Because I just won't stop. That's it. I just won't stop doing the things that are making me better every day. Okay. And so when it comes to high ticket sales, it's as simple as doing the things that make you of more value to people. Solve more expensive problems and people will pay you more. And so how do you figure out who has an expensive problem? Go do some research. Okay. Go and ask, okay, the people that are ahead of you, and observe and break down what are their potential pains. Okay. Right now, there is even artificial intelligence. You can literally probably go and drop in ChatGPT, Okay, what are the problems that Alek has with his life? Okay, and he will tell you. Okay, he will tell you, oh, he usually sometimes doesn't like cooking. Okay, then that's probably a problem that you can solve. Okay, I don't know, deliver food to my door. So the point is, you need to find out the problems. You don't need to ask me, oh, Alek, what are your problems? I'll help you. I'll work for free. I will find you. Then you can pay me. No, 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 no. You're missing the point. If you want to get paid a lot of money, I'm not talking about $2,500, which at the time was great. I'm talking deals that are over $10,000. Okay. And you just close one client every month and you're at that $10,000 mark. Okay, it's as simple as that. You need to get so good that you solve expensive problems with ease, and you are known for being a problem solver. And so, if I know that you can solve an expensive problem that I have that is costing me more than $10,000, what am I going to do? I'm going to reach out to you and I'll say, please solve it, right? And you need to understand that price is literally a myth. So, charging 2,000 and charging 20,000, okay, 20,000 to someone is absolutely nothing, and to others is everything. 20,000 for some people, it's winning the lottery. For other people, it's pocket money. And so price as such, it's a mystical, mysterious, and mythical thing. It doesn't exist, okay? It is created, okay? How do you raise your prices? Put an extra zero at the end. You will see the price will raise. Who determines if the price should be 10,000 to 100,000? The problem. If you can prove your worth for 100,000, I will pay you 100,000. If you can only prove that you can solve a $10,000 product, I'll pay you 10,000. Okay? But at the very end, if you haven't figured out what is the one thing that you're extraordinary at, and or that you want to get extraordinary at, you're never going to reach the point to be charging those prices because you cannot solve expensive problems. And so what I did was literally just get so good at solving expensive problems. In that case, it was providing people with the knowledge to make money. I mean, this is why sales is the greatest skill of 21st century, because you can literally, it's teaching other people to make money. I mean, I could go to any business owner that is making 8 figures. If I can make them, an extra couple of millions and they don't pay me that same amount, of course, if I can guarantee them the results, they will pay me. Why? Because I am giving them something of value, which is wealth. And so there's 3 things that are always going to be in demand, and that is wealth, health, and relationships. Those are always very, very, very expensive problems that people have. You can help people to get healthier, okay? What's at stake for them? What is the problem? The biggest problem that they may have is they're going to die, okay? And so take it from there and then go down, okay? Maybe they cannot even play with the kids. Maybe they're developing a disease, okay, because of their condition. You will help them to stop that problem and to get better, to get more energy, to get more productivity, to get happier, okay, to have a better relationship with the husband or wife, okay? Wealth, okay? What is the common problem? They don't have money, they don't have food, they will die. That's the most dramatic example. Then we are going to go ahead and we're going to narrow it down, okay? We're going to say, you cannot afford vacations with the family. You want that great house? You can't afford it. I'll help you to be able to afford that vacation, to be able to afford that house. I will be the person that will guide you to make the money to go on that vacation and to make your kids happy. You want them to have a good education? That's what I will help you with. I'm not going to help you to teach you how to make money. I'll help you with introduce the final outcome for them. Relationships. What is the most dramatic thing that could happen? You're going to forever be alone. You're going to forever be lonely. It's tragic, right? And now bring it down. I will help you to find your dream wife or husband. Okay? I'll help you to find that missing piece in your life. Okay? Those are all expensive problems. And now it all comes down to the ability of you being able to execute that. If you're capable of executing and providing those solutions to those expensive problems, boom, you won it. You can charge 10,000, you can charge 15,000, you can charge 30,000, charge 100,000. If the problem that's what's worth, go ahead. Provide a 100K solution. Provide $1 million solution if that's what you have. It all depends on what is the value that you're bringing, the emotional value in this person's life when it comes to wealth, health, or relationships. Okay, and this is how you close high ticket sales. Okay, there's no magic pill. It's you figure out the problem, figure out who has the problem, go ahead, reach out to them. Okay, make sure that you have all the proof that you can solve that, give all the guarantees that you can, and then go ahead and solve that problem. You just need to do it once. Then you need to just repeat the process. And so that's what I did. Okay, is I figured out how to help other people make more money. I solved it at a lower price. Then I figured out, okay, how I did it. And then I repeated the process and I raised my prices to continuously be able to do it at a higher scale. Business in 30 seconds. Listen back to what I just said, okay? And so I was really excited to release this episode. And what I'm even more excited is that if you did like this, to please drop a review, share it with a friend who is not at 10,000 still. Share it with someone who wants to learn how to be better at sales and to how to close high ticket deals. And that's my thank you, okay, for you too. Okay, is thank you for listening and for supporting this project. I do it so that you can get better, so that you can solve more expensive problems, you can get paid more money, and you can be a great freelancer with a great lifestyle. Okay, and so I know that it's hard being an underdog. I know it's hard starting, okay, in that position of disadvantage, but I was there too. And then I managed to climb the ladder, and I'll continuously do so for the next 100 years if God allows me. And I will see you at the top too. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. My name is Alek Angelov, and I'm your sales psychology coach. And I'll see you in the next one.